So, as I was listening to the sermon this morning by Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and the text that she was reading from was in the book of Mark about the story with the young boy who, he was possessed by some demons and tormented and things of that. The demons would take over him so badly. Sometimes he would throw himself into pits of fire. He would throw himself into bodies of water. He would be having seizures, foaming at the mouth, all types of crazy stuff, right? And so there was something that Pastor Sarah said in the sermon that really hit me. So at one point in the sermon, she says something, and I can't do it justice. I can't say it the same way that she said it. I can't remember exactly what she said, but the way that I heard it and the way that I interpreted it and applying it to my life is that there are certain things that are sent into your life to destroy everything that you've tried to build. There are certain people that are sent into your life to try to destroy everything that you've worked for and everything that you've built and are building. And so I don't want us to start villainizing people, right? And start just like, oh, this person's a bad person, this person's terrible, this situation is terrible. Like, there are some terrible people, but let's take the heat off of the actual person, because one thing to remember is that those people, they're just instruments of the enemy. Satan will use whoever he can, whoever he has to try and destroy your life. And so let's not get so caught up on like labeling people as evil, as this, as that. While there are those people out there, I'm not denying that, but let's not just put a label on somebody just because they're an instrument that the devil chooses to use in an area of your life. I know that's a very hard thing to do, so I'm not minimizing that at all. When we think about destroy, we're thinking about like somebody, like for example, when you're thinking about destroy, you're thinking about like a storm, right? Like a natural disaster, a storm that comes in and they just destroy everything. Like you're thinking about some really catastrophic, some really like theatrical major thing. But a lot of times the things that come to destroy us, they come in very subtly. And they don't come in with all the noise and all the crazy wind. And a lot of times they come in to try to undo a lot of the things that you've worked so hard to do. Let me explain. So let's say that you're somebody who have worked so hard to try to get yourself to a wellness part of your life. You've been on this fitness journey and on this wellness journey, and you're doing really well. Now someone comes into your life, or somebody who's already been in your life. Sometimes it's your own family. Like I know, especially from the Haitian culture, the Caribbean culture, like, especially when you're like on a fitness journey, on a wellness journey, and your parents specifically and your aunties and uncles and relatives, they're all like, what's up with you? You gonna kill yourself, and why do you need to do all this? And they're not evil people, they're not bad people, they don't want to see you lose, but they just don't understand how hard you've worked to be where you are. They don't understand the purpose that's behind the drive that you have to be where you are in this fitness journey, on this wellness journey. And so they're literally trying to get you to desensitize going to the gym, working out, putting yourself on a disciplined diet, or, monitoring what you eat and things of that sort. And so they're going to say things that will get you to feel like you can get a pass. And there's nothing wrong with having a cheat day, or, like being a couch potato for a day, or just chilling out for a little, like you can get a pass. But a lot of times people don't try to just give you a pass or try to tell you like, oh no, it's okay, just relax or whatever. They try to get you to make that a norm. And so you become so desensitized to it where you no longer see the value or the importance of that goal. And the same thing goes for anything. Abstinence. You try to be abstinence. You try to do the right thing for you because that's what you believe in. And you have certain people in your ears trying to tell you, oh no, it don't take all of that. Abstinence is, is impossible or is not realistic. Abstinence is this, is that, blah, 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 blah. Or you're going to therapy, you're trying to become a different person. Oh no, you don't need to go see no shrinks. There's nothing wrong with you. You just gotta blah, 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 blah. Trying to put yourself on a new bracket for financial purposes. Like you're trying to be more professional. You're trying to seek after things that are on a higher caliber. And people are just like, people always just have something negative to try to get you to come down to their level of thinking, to their level of living. And so one thing that I've been coaching myself on is, listen, what I'm doing with my life, the things that I'm trying to do to actively better myself, it don't concern you. It don't got nothing to do with you. So I never asked for your input. I didn't come to you and say, hey, do you think I should be abstinent? Hey, do you think I should, be on a wellness journey and a fitness journey? Hey, do you think I should seek counseling? Hey, I didn't come to you for your 2 cents. So when you see me doing me, and I'm trying to be proactive in my life, and I'm trying to make positive changes in my life, why do you think it's okay for you to come in and try to disrupt that? Why do you think it's okay for you to try to come in and interrupt what I have going on when it's working just fine for me? You may not like it. It may not suit you. It may not be what you want to do, but stop trying to dumb down what I'm doing to better myself, because you weren't around when I was at my lowest, and I had to fight to get myself to where I am right now. You weren't around when I was overweight, and there were health problems, when I'm feeling sluggish to wake up every day, when I have no motivation, no drive. And therefore, once I made up my mind, once I decided that, I'm going to go on this wellness journey, this fitness journey, you weren't there with me in the trenches to try to actively get me to a better state. Don't come to me after I've worked so hard to work on my abstinence to try to tell me, oh, it don't take all of that, or blah, 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 because you weren't there with me when I had to overcome all this trauma, when I had to overcome all this, when I had to build up all this self-esteem again, all this self-respect, all this, wisdom and knowledge and growth that I'm doing within myself. And all these examples that I'm giving, I'm not speaking directly, about me specifically, although a lot of those things do apply to me. I'm speaking generally, because these are all things that so many people try to work so hard for, and so many other things that I'm not listing. But you will have people who either are already in your life or who come into your life and try to thwart all of those things that you've worked so hard and are still working so hard to actively maintain. Because when you make that type of decision, it's not just like, oh, let me get fit just for the sake of getting fit, and then once I get fit, I'm not going to do it no more. No, there's a maintenance process. The same way with the car. You don't just get an oil change once and that's it. You don't ever change the oil again. You don't just get service done on your car once and then that's it. You never touch it again. So if you're doing these things, it means that there's a goal, there's an objective that you're trying to attain. So who are you to try to come into my life and try to tell me that what I'm doing to try to better myself is not necessary, is not needed, is too much, oh no, whatever? Because how is that benefiting you? By you trying to tell me to stop, you're getting some benefit. If I stop, there's something that's going to benefit you one way or another. Let's get that clear. If I break my abstinence, that's because you're going to reap the benefits of having a sexual relationship with me, potentially, right? If I decide to limit, my time and working out, or cut out my fitness journey and, my diet and all of that stuff, you're going to reap the benefits, because maybe now, I'm not so far from you as far as like fitness and our health and stuff like that. So it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you feel like less of a slob, or less of a this or less of a that. If I devalue myself in any way, or if I bring myself down in any way, not by choice, not by because, oh, this is something that I really just want to stop doing, and I'm like, whatever. Like, if I just start drinking, if I break my sobriety in any way, you're reaping some benefit of that, whether it's by the fact that you feel better about yourself because you're no longer you feel like you got somebody next to you who's on the same level, because now you got a drinking buddy again. Now you got somebody who you could, shoot the club with again. Now you got somebody who is just as broken as you are mentally, because I'm seeking counseling for myself. So it's just very, very important to notice the destruction that is coming into your life, or the destruction that's already been there and that is actively trying to undo everything that you work so hard to do. Y'all know how it is. Like, to build a positive habit is so hard. It takes so long. But then it does not take as long to break that cycle. It does not take that long to, revert back to doing something lesser than. And so even within my own child, like, there's a lot of things that I work so hard to try to like instill in him, and to try to, certain routines and certain principles and certain things. And sometimes all it takes is for me to put him, leave him in a certain environment for, one too many days, for a couple of hours. And it's like instantly you just see the massive change. And I'm just like, seriously, that's all it took? Like, after all the months, the years, the weeks that I've been working on this particular thing within you, that I've been trying to get this thing, and it seemed like things were going well, you were getting it, and then I just put you in this environment because I had no choice for a period of time, for this, for that, and it's like, now I'm having to start all over again. Like, I'm having to reinstill these same principles. And so that's exactly how it is in my adult life. When I find myself trying to work towards certain things, when I'm trying to work towards certain goals, and people in my life, whether they're new or old, are there trying to minimize what I'm doing, trying to get me to see it from their perspective. I didn't ask you. I didn't come into your life and tell you, hey, whatever this goal is that you've been working on, that you're trying to do, that you believe in, whatever this value, this moral that you believe in, I need you to break it. So don't come into my life trying to devalue everything that I've built up, because the word built up, I use that on purpose, because I wasn't born like this. I wasn't born just like, oh, I want to become abstinent. Oh, I want to be sober. I want to never drink again. Oh, you know what? I just like it. Like, I had to build it up. So meaning I had to break certain cycles. I had to stop certain things. I had to erase or eliminate certain types of activities in my life, certain habits, certain mindsets, to not think this way, to not do this thing, to not keep running to the same thing. So if I had to build myself up to this point, why do you think that I just want to give that up? I just want to break that just because you tell me it don't take all that. Oh no, you can have one drink. Like, you don't gotta never drink again. Like, come on, you're doing too much. You're doing the most. So that's just like my word of encouragement to everybody. I know, like, I kind of went on a rant a little bit. As I can see, this is a bit tense for me with all the passion that I'm exuding, but it's really annoying because I'm finding that more and more. And it's like, I don't want us to get so focused on when we think about the storm, when we think about a destruction, something that's trying to destroy us, that we only think about something massive, a storm, something loud, something chaotic. No, they come in very subtle ways. It's those voices in your head. It's those friends that are trying to tell you, like, oh no, you can pop out. Oh no, you could do this. Oh, it's those, your parents that are like, no, eat it. Eat the rice for the fourth time in the day. When you're trying to be on a particular diet, like, like, oh no, you don't need counseling. Like, you're fine. Like, oh, you don't need to go to church as long as you pray at home. Like, all these different things, like, you built yourself to try to be at this standard, to try to be, something that you would be proud of. And people are now trying to devalue it. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the voices and what those voices are leading you to. And ask yourself, before you succumb to whatever it is that they're trying to tell you, before you agree with whatever voice it is that's trying to get you to agree on this and try to get you to do that or break that or stop that, ask yourself, who is this benefiting? And then ask yourself, wait, why did I start doing this in the first place? Why did I start working towards sobriety? Why did I start pulling myself away from certain company? Why did I start, seeking after these types of jobs? Why did I start seeking counseling? Why did I start, this abstinence walk? Like, ask yourself, what was my why for this goal that I have? And then ask yourself, would this person be trying to? What benefit would this person get if I stop? So those are very, very hard-hitting questions. And you don't always have to respond right away. When someone says something crazy to you or something that, like, you're like, oh, you know what? That's not. Don't always feel like you got to respond or you got to react immediately. Sometimes you could just be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll think about it, and you just say whatever you got to say. But then when you have time, think it through and see what the intentions of this person, this voice is in your life and in your heart. And the minute that you make the decision that you stand up for yourself and you tell that person off and you show them that you are not budging, that I'm not giving this up. If I slip up, if I fall, that's on me. But I'm not going to do it because you tell me to do it. I'm not going to break this because you tell me to do it or you try to get me to see it your way. So I can always slip up. I can always end up doing this or doing that or having this or having that. But let it be because I slipped up. Not because I was influenced by you or I was listening to whatever it is that you were saying and taking it as law, taking it as God. So once you stand up for yourself, watch how intricately God will start to just filter certain people out of your life. Watch how, slowly and surely some of those people will start backing off, whether they'll start dropping like flies or you will just kind of just move on from them, leave them behind, whatever. Just watch how they start to fade away. Once you actually stand up for yourself and you stick to whatever it is that you say you're going to do. That's all I got for y'all today. Catch y'all on the next one.